and welcome to this video here today. This video is going to be all about forensic science at the University of Wolverhampton. We'll explore the courses that we have to offer, but also the career pathways you may wish to go into once you've completed your studies. So hopefully this video will answer any questions that you may have. If not, I'll show you where you can find the answers to those questions. So firstly, I thought it'd be best to begin with a little bit about myself, since you have no idea who I am. Hi everyone, my name is Heather. I am a postgraduate researcher here at the University of Wolverhampton, and my research is in forensic science. But I'm also a STEM outreach and public engagement assistant for the Faculty of Science and Engineering. So I make up part of the STEM response team, who are a team of graduates from the university who all have STEM backgrounds, and we do STEM outreach to the community, to events, but also just to everyone essentially, to get them more involved with and thinking about STEM. So firstly, I thought it'd be good to just go through my background and how I got on my educational journey, I suppose. So I finished my GCSEs at high school. I then chose to go on and do my A-levels at sixth form. So I studied biology, history and psychology. Now you'll note here I only studied one science at A-level. However, majority of the entry requirements that you're going to see now state for two. And this is simply because the entry requirements have changed throughout the years. I studied MSci Forensic Science, and I'm now a postgraduate research student. So let's begin with looking at the courses that the University of Wolverhampton has to offer. So firstly, we have the HND Forensic Science, and this is a higher national diploma. To get onto this course, you need A-levels in biology and chemistry or a level 3 extended diploma in applied sciences. This course is only 2 years in duration, or 4 years in duration if you wish to study part-time, and it's completely your choice or personal preference or your circumstances, I suppose, as to whether you study full-time or part-time, but you can do both depending on which you choose to do. Once you finish the 2 years, there is the option to transfer over to the BSc Honours Forensic Science course if you wish to do so. Then we have the BSc Honours Forensic Science with Foundation Year. And this is aimed more so for students who wish to enrol to the BSc Honours Forensic Science, however do not meet the entry requirements to enrol directly onto the course. So the foundation year kind of acts as that step up to bring those students up to the same level as everybody else who enrolls onto those courses, whether that's in their maths, their English, or most importantly, their sciences, to ensure that you do not get left behind when you start on the forensic science course. So for the entry requirements to go into this course are just A-levels or extended diplomas. As you notice here, there's no kind of specific science elements that you need to have studied, and this is because the foundation year will help you do that before you do your forensic science degree course. This course is 4 years in duration, with the first year being the foundation year and then the following 3 years being the BSc forensic science course. Like with the other course, there is the option to study this part-time if you wish to do so. Then we have the BSc Honours Forensic Science course. To get onto this course, you need A-levels in biology and chemistry or the level 3 extended diploma in applied sciences. This course is 3 years in duration full-time, or the opportunity to study part-time is there also, and you can switch between the two if necessary. However, with this course, there is the opportunity to have a sandwich placement, which is a year out of study working in the field, and then once you've done that kind of year's experience working with a company or working in a specific forensic related sector, you then come back to the university and complete your final year of your degree course. So this will turn it from 3 years to 4 years full time. Sandwich placements are a really good opportunity if you wish to do so, and these provide you with more of the real life skills and application of the knowledge that you've learned to the real world, and can help you pursue a job or career in the future. We also offer the BSc Honours Forensic Science with Policing, and this is more suitable for students that have an interest within forensic science but also wish to possibly have a career within either forensic science or policing. So for this, you need A-levels in biology or chemistry or a level 3 extended diploma in applied sciences. This is 3 years full-time, or again, the part-time option to study is there also. And with this course, you also do get the option to take a placement year out if you wish to do so. But remember, that adds on a year to your overall study time. And finally, for the undergraduate study, we have the MSci Honours Forensic Science course. And this is the course that I studied at the university myself. So to get onto this course, you need A levels in biology and chemistry or a level 3 extended diploma in applied sciences. This course is 4 years in duration. However, you still have the option to do a sandwich placement year if you wish to do so. So the first year of study is your BSc Honours Forensic Science course, which is technically an undergraduate course. However, instead of graduating at the end of your third year, you then stay on for one final year and do a master's, which is your postgraduate. So essentially, this is a degree which combines both together. That's why it's an MSci. This is a good opportunity for those who wish to do both undergraduate and postgraduate study. Of course, you can do both separately if you wish, but it's again personal preference and your choice. I chose to do this one because I wanted to do postgraduate study also. However, at the time that I started university, there was no funding for kind of postgraduate level studies, such as masters and doctoral studies. So therefore, if I wished to do masters, I'd have to self-fund it, and unfortunately at that moment in time, that wasn't an option for me to do so. So this was a great opportunity to combine them both together. So it's completely personal choice to you. It depends on what you prefer. And education at the University of Wolverhampton in forensic science doesn't stop after undergraduate study. You can go and do postgraduate options too if you wish to do so. So we have the options of doing masters in forensic sciences, or you could do a master of philosophy, or you could do a PhD like I am doing now. Now we'll briefly go over some of the topics that you will encounter through your studies in forensic science at the University of Wolverhampton. Specific topics and the content of those topics may vary depending on which course that you're enrolled to, but they're relatively all the same in terms of what broad topics they should cover. So you'll learn things such as forensic anthropology. So this is looking at the human skeleton and what your human skeleton can tell you about a person. So a human skeleton can provide you with a profile of that person that tells you things such as their age, their sex, their stature, which is their height, and also their ancestry. And it also provides you with information about how that person possibly died. Say if there's any trauma to the skeleton, we can determine whether that trauma occurred before, around the time of death, or after death. We also have forensic anthropology, and this looks at insects that are of forensic importance. And this looks at how those insects are important and what information these insects can tell us. We also have modules such as the expert witness, which gets you to essentially go to a mock trial where you are the expert, and it gives you practice of being able to be in that circumstances and speaking to a jury in a sense to get your point across, as this is something that you may have to do in the future depending on your career pathway. Obviously, we have crime scene investigation, which a lot of people have seen on TV through programs such as CSI, NCIS, and things such as that. But obviously, when you undertake this course, you'll find out that not everything is as it seems with the media's portrayal of forensic science. We also have fire investigation, trace evidence, forensic chemistry, quality assurance, physical evidence, and genetics and pathology. However, with forensic science with policing, there are a few modules here that you don't get to experience if you do just forensic science by itself, and these things such as police procedures and evidence, criminal investigation, and police accountability and standards of professional behaviour. So let's explore the career pathways you can do within forensic science after you've completed your study. By all means, these career pathways are not set in stone. You don't have to do these. You can do whatever career pathway you wish to do, but here's an example of some which you can do from your forensic science degree course. So of course, you can further your education, either master's or doctorate level once you finish your undergraduate degree. You could possibly have a career within the police, and this is the police force itself or the forensic science department within the police, and this will look at things such as the evidence that is found at a crime scene. So this could be evidence itself and evidence packaging and evidence monitoring, or it could be fingerprints, or it could be ballistics, or it could be anything that involves kind of evidence from a scene of a crime eventually. You could work for independent forensic companies such as Eurofins or LGC Forensics or Key Forensics. You could possibly go and work for insurance companies and assist with fire investigation, so determining whether a fire was arson and set deliberately or whether it was accidental and whether the insurance company should pay out on this claim. Or you might also check the validity of documents to ensure that the documents are legal and valid or whether they are forgeries. You may wish to go and work in quality assurance in food and pharmaceutical manufacturing, as this is really important to ensure everything that is in seafood or pharmaceuticals is what it's meant to be and there's nothing harmful that has gotten in, whether by accident or deliberate. And of course, you can go on and do higher education and further education teaching if you wish to do so. However, additional qualifications may be needed to do these. So hopefully I've answered all the questions that you may have had today, but if not, not to worry, I'll show you where you can get your answers from now. So firstly, head over to our website, as our website normally entails everything that you need to know. So on here will be all the information you need to know from the courses that I have mentioned today, but also all the courses that the University of Wolverhampton has to offer, along with more helpful information you may need to know as an upcoming student. If you have specific questions that you can't find the exact answer to on the website, your best bet will be to email inquiries@wlv.ac.uk, and these will be able to provide you with more clarification on those questions. Or if you have some general questions that the STEM response team may be able to help you with, feel free to email the STEM response team also. And for just to keep up to date with upcoming events and new things surrounding the University of Wolverhampton, you can follow us on social media. So if you follow the University of Wolverhampton, you'll be notified of any upcoming postgraduate or undergraduate open days if you wish to attend these, whether that's in person or virtual. And if you follow the STEM response team, we provide a whole variety of resources which are suitable for all ages of learning, so there might be something beneficial for you there also. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this video has been useful to you and has answered some of the questions that you may have had, and I hope to see you at the University of Wolverhampton soon.
So the BSc Forensic Science course here at the University of Wolverhampton is an applied science course, which means that students will be exposed to a lot of chemistry and a lot of biology and a little bit of physics, and they will be learning those as core subjects, but also they'll be learning how to apply those different disciplines and sub-disciplines in a forensic context as well. One way that our course differs from a lot of other courses is that we train students to be scientists first, who can then apply their skills in the forensic arena, which makes them much more employable when they reach the end of their course.
I find it fascinating, it's always interesting, it's always something different. Although you might have two of the same evidence types, they will never be the same, they will never be from the same circumstance. And so that's why I decided to go into forensic science.
Within the areas of chemistry, you'll be studying things like toxicology and quality assurance. Quality assurance is very important in helping you get jobs. And also within forensic biology, areas like DNA analysis, forensic anthropology, forensic entomology.
It's a unique course that offers the option of going to different places such as the West Midlands Police to be on the job, and a large proportion of the lectures are taught by experts in the field.
Students will also learn lots of laboratory skills. So they will do lots of what we call wet chemistry, where they will be mixing chemicals in the laboratory, but they will also be learning how to use the advanced machines that we've got available here. As well as all of that, they will also learn observational skills and they will learn field skills. So there will also be a lot of time spent in our crime scene house, where they will be investigating mock crime scenes.
Well, as a result of studying on this course, our students have gone on to get jobs in a variety of areas. These have been with the police, crime scene analysis, these have been in forensic laboratories, quality standards laboratories, legal firms, these have been in teaching, in research, all sorts of areas are open to students studying forensic science.
I think that this is 10 times more exciting, as I still feel like you're helping people as a forensic scientist, you're helping people find out what happened. And I think that anyone that's unsure about studying forensic science should go for it.
It's a unique and interesting subject, and the experience that you'll gain is invaluable.